We live in this super connected world, right? An idea can pop up in one country and literally change lives on the other side of the planet overnight. But how do you protect that idea? How do you make sure your hard work, your creativity is actually respected everywhere?
Okay, just imagine this for a second. You do it. You invent the next big thing. Maybe it's a brilliant new app, an amazing song, a piece of software that's going to change the world. That's awesome, right? But it comes with this huge headache. How in the world do you protect it in like over 160 countries at once? I mean, that sounds impossible.
Well, that's where the TRIPS agreement comes into play. It stands for, and this is a mouthful, Trade-Related Aspects of Intellectual Property Rights. It's basically the World Trade Organization's answer to that exact problem. Think of it as the planet's official rulebook for ideas.
But here's the thing, TRIPS isn't just about putting ideas under lock and key. Not at all. Its whole mission is this really delicate balancing act. On one hand, you've got to give creators the confidence to innovate, to know their work is protected, but on the other hand, you also have to make sure that new knowledge can spread and benefit everyone.
So, you might be asking, how does this thing actually work? Well, it's really built on three main pillars, three big steps. First, you got to define what you're even protecting. Second, you set the minimum standards for everybody. And third, and this is crucial, you make sure there are real consequences if people break the rules. You give it teeth.
All right, let's talk about that first step, defining what's protected. And the scope here is just massive. We're talking about the whole shebang. Copyrights for your music or books, trademarks for your brand's logo, patents for that new gadget you invented. But it goes even deeper. It covers stuff like geographical indications, why you can only call bubbly wine from a certain region in France champagne, and even trade secrets, like the famous secret formula for a soft drink. And that brings us to step 2, which is all about fairness. There's this super important principle at the core of the agreement called national treatment. It sounds kind of technical, but it's really simple. It just means that a country has to treat creators from other countries the exact same way it treats its own citizens. No playing favorites. It's all about creating a totally level playing field for innovation, no matter where you're from.
Okay, so you have all these rules, but what's the point if you can't enforce them? That's pillar number 3. TRIPS makes it mandatory for every single member country to have real, effective legal systems in place. We're talking civil courts where you can sue for damages, administrative bodies that can act fast, and even criminal procedures for the really big violations. The rules have to mean something.
Now, obviously, when you have over 160 countries trying to follow the same rulebook, you're going to have some disagreements. It's just inevitable. That's why the TRIPS agreement is backed up by the WTO's dispute settlement mechanism. You can think of it as the ultimate referee in the world of trade. If one country thinks another isn't playing fair, they can bring their case to the WTO and get an official ruling. And believe me, this system gets tested a lot. Let's look at a real-world example. Back in 1997, there was a dispute involving Canada and patents for pharmaceutical drugs. The whole argument was about how strictly you need to follow patent rules when you're talking about life-saving medicines. It was a perfect test of that balance we mentioned earlier. Creator rights versus public good.
So what happened? Well, the final ruling was a really big deal. The WTO basically clarified that, yes, the patent rules are strong, but the TRIPS agreement isn't a straitjacket. It has built-in flexibilities. It confirmed that countries do have some room to maneuver, especially when it comes to protecting public health. It showed the agreement can bend a little.
And that same idea of fairness, of not discriminating, came up again in another major case. This time it involved the United States and trademarks. There was a specific U.S. law that was challenged because it seemed to treat some foreign trademark owners differently than others. This put that core principle of fairness right under the microscope.
And the result? The WTO's ruling was crystal clear. It sided with fairness. It found that the U.S. law wasn't following the TRIPS rules. This was a really powerful reminder of that national treatment principle we talked about. You gotta play by the same rules. No special treatment, no discriminating against foreign brands. Period.
So when you kind of zoom out and look at the whole thing, you see what the TRIPS agreement is trying to do. Through all its definitions, its standards, and its enforcement, it's really trying to create this single global framework. It's this constant, ongoing negotiation between protecting the rights of innovators and serving the greater public good.
And that really brings us to the biggest question of all, the one we have to think about for the future. I mean, we're living in an age of AI that creates art, technology that can edit our genes, and ideas that spread across the globe in a split second. The very definition of an idea is changing faster than ever. So the real challenge is this: can one single agreement, one global rulebook, keep up?
Can it continue to strike that all-important balance between rewarding innovation and making sure we all move forward together?